Hello, everyone, and welcome back. In our previous session, we introduced the p2-i widget architecture. Today, we are focusing on the operational side of our solution. But before we start our deep dive, let's make a quick introduction. I'm Andrea Guaccio, functional consultant, and here with me, we have Alessandro and Mahmoud, our technical expert.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So let's introduce the pain we are solving with this solution first. While a plan manager might only need a single number like years to date, order, KPI, a planner or a buyer, they need to see more granular details. Therefore, they need tables, they need to spot trends, and they need to take action. This is where the dynamic query list and the dynamic query chart comes into play. Now, let's dive straight into the info rest to see how an Excel table-like works directly in our homepage. Alessandro and Mahmoud are going to teach us about the list widget first.
Thank you, Andrea. So let's introduce the dynamic query list. As you can see, it extracts rows and columns directly from data lake, looking very much like an Excel grid. Users can filter and review the data instantly. So how to set up this dynamic query list? So starting with data fabric, let's try to fetch the production orders. So we are going to select the site. It's important to add aliases as the widget is going to convert the aliases to the column header. So it's predefined variables. We need to do this WV. Then you write the label that you want to see in your column. Then we can select, for instance, the production order. And we want to see the item. And we are going to select from our table the ISFC001. We go to our widget, we click on configure, we paste our query, and we save. As you can see, the widget shows now our production order table, as it shows the site, production order, and an item. And if we notice carefully, there are also fields like company, financial company, and sites. These fields we can use in order to dynamically change the data lake queries. So how to handle this? We go to data fabric, then we write a where condition since company is variable, so we need to put it between two hashtags, uppercase. And also we are going to include the site. We copy our query, we come to configure, we paste the query in data lake query. Let's change, for instance, site to NL01. As you can see, now we are only fetching production orders for the site NL01. It's possible to download this data in CSV file. What we need to do is to click on configure, toggle in the enable CSV download, and save. As you can see, a download data button will show. As soon as we click on it, it will export our data in a CSV file, having the same data as we see in our widget with the same column headers. This widget solution comes with a technical challenge. What happens when we query massive transactional tables like the sales orders or bill of material tables for manufacturing? Like if we extract 50K records at once, we slow down the UI and exhaust the tenant compute time limits. So our solution is having a query limit parameter. We could limit the number of records the system is going to fetch. For instance, if we write only 20 records and we save, the system is going to show only the first 20 records. Moreover, a load more button will pop up. As soon as we click on load more, it will fetch another 20 records. In a conclusion, we are not going to load all data in once, so it could be defined with a parameter and you can define any number of records that you want to see. As mentioned before, data could be massive. Searching for specific records manually consumes too much time, especially when not all data is loaded in the list. So we came with a solution is adding a search bar. And how to do this? We go back to Data Fabric. We also need to add the field that we want to search. For our case, I'm going to use site concatenated with production order with the item. And this is a very critical part. We also need to add this alias, which is search text. We copy our query, we configure, then we save. As you may notice, we have now our search bar. Let's try, for instance, get one of the records. Let's take this one. Refresh. We don't have this record visible in our UI screen. So as soon as I put it in the search bar, as you can see, we are getting the production order. The good thing in our search bar is not fetching only on the data that we are seeing in our UI. It actually checks all the backend, all the data that we have in our database and verify if it exists or not.
This is fantastic, Mahmoud. But seeing the data, I think, is only half of the job, no? So, for example, if a user sees an issue in a production order in this list, they need to fix it. Without a shortcut in the widget, they would have to memorize the order number, open the ERP, find the right session, and search for it. We want to close this loop.
Yes, and to solve this, we configure a drill back URL. And how to do this? We need to go to LN, we open a view modeler, and we select our session. Then we check the view ID. For our case, we need to go to Data Fabric. Then we just need to add the logical ID configuration. So basically, it's like logical. This is static data as it takes the company, the site, our production order, then the view. We copy our query. We go back to our widget, configure, then we paste. Let me remove the filter for instance. As you can see now, we have a new column named action. For each row, we have open button. If we click on it, it will redirect to LN showing the exact same production order for the same site and for the same company.
Okay, Mahmoud show us how data can be placed into a grid, but the dynamic query widget, it also gives us some possibility to present data in a graphical way. Why is this? Because sometimes it's needed to spot data trends in a different way and have more visual information. Now let's talk about the p2-i widget dynamic chart. Exactly as the list, it's work via query. The only difference that we have here is that in this widget, the query execute, it has a key value format. Before moving to Data Fabric, I created this small example. As you can see, on the left side, you have the query that the widget execute. And on the right side, you have the result that the query will return. As you can see, in this example, the result must have this format. Status underscore name is the key, and total is a value assigned to the key. Indeed, if you apply this logic to the widget, the result is as follows. The status name, close, has total 84. And indeed, the widget is showing us that the number of the production order close are 84. The query that I presented is the same that the widget apply. As you can see here is the extraction of query retrieved by the widget. Indeed, it shows us 84 production order close and 23 printed and so on. The query is put inside the widget. Now, let's see the different configuration that the widget has. Here, I'm the configuration mode. By clicking the three dot, configure, I have the data lake query. As you have seen before, in the list widget, I have the possibility to leverage tags. The different tags that I can use are company, financial company, and site. In this example, we are just using the company number. As you can see, another important feature that our widget has is a possibility to configure the format view. In this specific example, we are using column, but by clicking on this list, I can change and maybe put bar. By clicking apply, the widget understands that the configuration has been changed and now we want to present the data in a different way. I also have the possibility to use area, exactly like this one. The last graphical component that we have is a donut. And as you can see, now the graphical component has been changed. So this is a massive improvement because it's really the people who are going to configure widget and workspace can choose which is the best user component to use.
Okay, thank you all. We are almost at the end for today. To summarize, with the list and chat widget, we give operational users the exact details they need, protect the system performance with smart limits, and allow immediate action via the drillbacks. In our next session, we will focus to the executive level. We will explore the KPI and the banner widget to see how we can put top priority metrics front and center. See you there.